Well, good morning, everybody, and I want to welcome you in to today's edition of Tuesday's Table Talk with Notary Know-How. I'm Melissa Watts, co-founder, and this is my amazing business partner, Dina Spinks.
Hello,
And today,
everyone.
today we are so excited. We talked yesterday on our Monday morning motivation about investing in yourself. And one of the things we talked about was investing in great headshots, connecting with a photographer that can give you some great headshots for all of your marketing materials, whether it's digital or whether it is business cards or however you need to use it. And I am so excited today to welcome Antonio Boswell. Say hello to everybody, Antonio.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Dana.
Mm.
Hello,
Hey,
Melissa, and
Antonio.
thank you for having me.
Thank you for
Yes,
being
sir.
with us.
Now, I have known Antonio for 13 years, and
Mm.
I have personally seen his work. I have a lot of friends who are actors, including my husband, and he does an incredible work with headshots. And my husband's headshot was even featured in a movie. So I'm telling you, having a good headshot can open so many doors. So without further ado, let's just dive into it.
Okay.
Okay, so Antonio, Melissa has told us a little bit about you, but our listeners want to really get to know you better. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how and when you got started doing photography professionally?
So, again, my name is Antonio Boswell. My company is A Boswell Media. And I actually got started in photography really in high school. My high school had a photography club, but they didn't have a camera. So it was kind of hard to learn photography in a photography club when you don't have a camera. So I've had an interest in photography since high school, but my formal training began when I went to college. I took my first photography class. I majored in broadcast journalism, so that was kind of a part of my major. And that's when I started photography. That's when I took my first class. That's when I learned the basics. And that's actually when I first started actually making money from photography was in college around 1992, like 1993. So that's been a long time ago.
Okay, well, thank you.
Well, one thing that I wanted to address is the fact that when I look online and see a lot of notary profiles, there are hundreds of websites where you can go online and list your credentials, including a photograph of yourself. And one thing I noticed was that so many people have photos that are just not very professional. They're in t-shirts with their favorite team on it, or a tank top. There's people in the background, there's kids in the background, and even pets and animals. There was one I saw, she had her cute little dog, and I have a cute little dog, but I knew better than to do this. But on
Yeah,
her
your
notary
your
profile.
your dog your dog has been to my studio.
Yes. Yes. But I don't have him up here like this in my in my picture. But but I tell you, people just for a lack of knowledge don't know what
Mm.
to put out there. Can you please speak to us about the importance of a good professional headshot and the impact that you have seen it have on people's businesses?
So I started photography, like I said before, like in 1992, 93.
Hmm.
And things have changed a lot. More people are using headshots just because we're more visual because of the digital age. So a lot of people are using headshots, but I don't think a lot of people understand the true importance of a headshot. A
Right.
headshot is designed to represent you before you can actually represent you. There
Mm.
used to be a time where the only people that had headshots were actors, CEOs, most everyday business people did not have headshots. But now you can find kids with web pages who have headshots. Everyone has a headshot, but my question always is your headshot working for you? So
Right.
one of the things you have to understand, if you're in business, your headshot is an investment. If
Mhm.
you're in business and you're working, your
Yes.
headshot should be also working. Your headshot is going to represent you before you can represent you in most cases. And my example is any social media website. You see the tagline, you see the title, you see the name, but you're also going to see a picture. So
Right.
that picture is going to be the first representation. What do you want your first representation to be? Now I'm old. I'm going to date myself, but when I graduated from college, they told me that my resume was the first representation. Before I could get to the interview, it was
Mhm.
a paper resume. You had to have it on a certain kind of paper. You had to have a certain font, certain
Right.
words. That was the representation. Now, paper resumes hardly don't exist, but that headshot is still going to be your first representation. So you have to always remember, what do I want my representation to be? What do I want my first representation to the world to be, especially if you're in business? I see a lot of headshots, but again, I ask my clients, I ask people all the time, are your headshots working for you?
Right.
When I do consultations with my clients, I focus on three things: who you are, what you have to offer, and your target audience. That's how you determine what your headshot should look like. That's how you determine what your marketing should be. That's how you determine what your branding should be. It's all about who you are, what you have to offer, and your target audience. I've used those three things in over a 25-year media career. And when I follow those three things, I have always been successful. I had to learn years ago that what I like is not important, is what's going to work. So if
Right.
you're looking at your headshot and you like that headshot, and or you like that pose, or you like yourself from a certain angle, you need to forget about that. You need to think about what's going to work to get you where you want to be. And that's the most important thing. Figure out what's going to work for you, who you are, what you have to offer, and your target audience. Once you figure those things out, the headshot is simple. The marketing is simple. The branding is simple. If you follow those three things, and it's worked for me for over 25 years.
Can
Well,
I
that's some
say
great
one thing
advice.
before?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I just said that's some great advice. I mean, that's powerful.
That is, that is. And I just wanted to piggyback on that for a second and say one thing before we move on to the next point. I went to a photo shoot at Antonio's studio. And I remember at one point in time, he had me pose in a certain position where I was thinking to myself internally, I don't like this position. I know it's not going to look good. I'm uncomfortable. Not saying you put people in uncomfortable poses, but for me, I was like, I never pose this way. It's not going to look good. Do you know that was my favorite photo?
Mhm.
That was
Wow.
my
And,
absolute
and,
favorite photo, and you nailed it. So,
and
Antonio,
that's an excellent point.
you did a really good job. I was very impressed.
Thank you.
Can you give us any tips as to what to wear or what not to wear when we're having our headshot photo done?
So I know people do a lot of research on what to wear, and some of that information is good. But again, I'm going to go back to what I always start with. You have to find what's right for you, who you are, what you have to offer, and your target audience. A lot of people will go online and see you should wear a certain color, or you should wear a certain style, and then they put it on and they're uncomfortable. If you're uncomfortable in what you have on, then you have an issue, because most people, your discomfort is going to show on your face, it's going to show in your body language, and that is going to show in your images. So while the things say you may need to wear black, you may need to wear blue, you may need to wear red, if you're not comfortable in red and you show up here in red, I'm going to be able to tell. my camera is going to be able to tell that you're uncomfortable. So again, I suggest instead of following just these standard cliche rules, find out what's going to work for you, who you are, what you have to offer, and your target audience. Just a few tips to stay safe. Dark colors are always good. Um, and, and again, I could give general information, but I really don't like to give general information. I like to find out what's going on with you. I like to be as specific as possible based on each client. Like you two ladies do the same thing. You're in the notary business, but that doesn't mean that your headshot should be the same. It doesn't mean you should do the same pose. It doesn't mean you should wear the same thing. You should be as specific as you can. And that's why a lot of people have headshots, but the headshots don't work. So my media experience, my photography experience, my videography, radio, TV has always been attached to making money. So my point of view is a little different than some people. I need my images to help the person get to the money. So you looking good,
Yes.
you looking cute is okay. But I really don't care if you look good and you look cute. I need the images to work. They need to work. If you leave here and you look good, but those images don't work, I don't feel like I've succeeded. If you like the picture, that's fine, but the pictures need to work. This is an investment. You need to make a return on your investment.
Yes.
If you just want to look cute for your family and friends, they can open Kmart back up. You go down to Kmart and get 2,000 prints for $10. You can do that. But if you're going to make a real investment in a headshot, you need to make sure that that headshot is going to work. So you need to be comfortable. The secret to a good headshot is to look comfortable. You need to look comfortable, and then you need to look confident. And notice I said comfortable first. If you don't look comfortable, how can you look confident? So when people see their headshot, one, they want to know that they can trust you. They want to feel like you know what you're doing. First, if you can look comfortable, the rest of it is going to come. So that goes back to what you wear. You need to be comfortable in what you wear. You need to be comfortable in that color. You need to be comfortable in that pose within yourself so your confidence can come out in the image. And like Dina said before, she was in studio and I can tell she was accustomed to taking a lot of pictures, but that's fine. That's what I do. I need you to get comfortable. I need you to understand why we're here taking the pictures. Now, Dina, you didn't want to say I made people feel uncomfortable, but most of the poses that look good and work are uncomfortable because I think I had you lean a certain way and turn a
Mm-hmm.
certain way, and I can
Right.
tell in your mind you did not understand, you didn't get it, but you followed instruction, and it turned out to be an image that you like, and I hope the image is working for you.
Yes, yes. I actually use that as my main number one headshot. Well, Antonio, to piggyback a little bit about what you were just talking about, I know you said you don't really like to tell people what colors to wear and whatnot, but there is a whole science behind colors and patterns and
Mm-hmm,
what to wear if you were tall or short or big or
mm-hmm,
little. And for ladies, makeup and hair, should they put it on thick because there's a lot of lights? Should they go more natural? You know, I know this is a loaded question and you've already addressed some of this, but can you address some of these issues to help people feel a little more comfortable, like you say? I mean, yes, confidence is most of that. But if you are a
mm-hmm,
heavy set woman, such as myself, you like to
mm-hmm,
know what type things you can wear that make you maybe look a little bit slimmer, which is going to make you feel more
mm-hmm.
comfortable. So, can you speak to that a little bit?
So as far as I'm going to try to be as specific as I can. You mentioned size
Mhm.
and heaviness. Black is always good. Dark colors are always good because it's slimming. You can't see as many details. You can't see as many shadow. And to be technical, shadow is what gives depth. So if you put on black, it's just black. Like I have on black, you really can't tell the depth to my body. You can't really tell how much I weigh because you can't see the shadow. Now, if I added light or if I had on white or a lot of color, you can see the rolls and the folds and the depth and the dimension of everything. So a darker color is going to make you look slimmer, but more so, the way that I shoot you can make you look slimmer.
Yeah.
Certain angles, for example, straight on, my face is wider. If I go to a different angle, it kind of slims it, but it depends on each individual. Some people can turn left and they get slimmer. Some people can turn right and they look slimmer. I can shoot them from a little higher and they'll look slimmer, or I can shoot them from lower and they would look slimmer or smaller. It depends on the person. Everyone is not the same. So you can do a little on your end, but most of that is going to be on my end. Wear a dark color. Don't wear anything that feels too tight and binding. Because again, the first thing you want to do is to look comfortable. If you sit in there and you think you look good in it and everything is tight, and you're sitting all tight and your mind is tight, you look tight. And when they see that, you're going to look uncomfortable. And just in my mind, who's going to want to do business with you? Who's going to want to call you and approach you if you look uncomfortable? So I just go back to the same thing: wear and put on what's going to make you feel as comfortable as possible. Get as comfortable as possible, then go to a professional photographer, and he's going to take care of the rest. So angles, make sure you get your angles. And another tip: get a mirror, get your phone, and look at yourself, and be honest with yourself, and turn your head from left to right. Rotate and see where your angles are. See which way you may look slimmer from that way to that way, and tilt your head up, tilt your head down. That'll help you understand where your angle is. I have certain clients, when they come in, they already know their angle. I have certain acting clients, they know their angle, not the angle that they like, but the angle that has helped them get work. There's a difference. So if you come in and you know your angle, and I can see your angle, let's go with that. But if you don't, if you haven't taken a lot of pictures, look in the mirror. Look in the mirror and get comfortable with yourself. A lot of people want to look like something different than they are, but it's okay to look like you. God made you. God made you special. And it's like everyone is looking for what's going to make them special, but it's already here. You already have it.
Yeah.
So get comfortable with it. Come on in here and let's make something happen.
That's awesome. Wow, that was loaded with so much. I'm
Yes.
telling you. And y'all, I trust Antonio. He has 25 years of experience. If you don't know what your angles are, trust him. I did. And it turned out great. I can remember going into the studio to have my headshots done, and I'm very, very uncomfortable in front of a camera having photographs taken. I'm pretty good with video, but because I can just be myself. But in front of a camera, I tend to, and I'm very stiff and uncomfortable. And I told him that going in, and he was like, okay, yeah, you're right. You are. But he made me get comfortable. And then I'm going to tell y'all something before I get into the last thing that's really, really awesome that I just want to say about my business partner, Dina. The two of us together, each of us individually, felt uncomfortable getting our pictures made and everything. But there is such a chemistry between Dina and myself that the minute that we were taking the headshots of the two of us together, there was this thing that just happened. I mean, you can tell daylight and dark. It was absolutely amazing. And Antonio knew how to also bring that out in both of us. But he was talking about how this is an investment, and it's an investment in your business. It's an investment in your future. And Antonio talked to us about some specifics. How much does the consultation cost? Your studio time, number of outfits, if you're going to change, if you're not going to do it at your studio or at another location. But then also talk to us about how often should we update our headshots?
So let me go ahead and tackle that last question first. At the minimum, I would say once a year.
Mhm.
But again, that's general. I think you should do it specifically for what you're doing. For example, for what you two ladies do, once a year is probably going to be good. But I have other clients who share their images so much, we have to do it almost every 3 to 4 months because image has a lifespan. The lifespan of that image in today's age is very short if you use your images a lot. So
Okay.
if you post the image every day, if people see that image every day, they get tired of seeing that image. They need to see something new, depending on what you do. So I have one client who comes in here every week.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
Yeah, but she has a boutique. She has a boutique. She has new merchandise every week. So she comes in once a week. She comes in on Thursday every week, maybe except for 4 weeks out of the year. So that applies to her. For what you two ladies do once a year, I think you're going to be good. You come in, freshen up, unless you have maybe a major hair change, major weight loss. And to break it down even further, if you stop looking like you need to come back in. If you change for Melissa, if you went totally blonde,
Oh,
or Dina, if you got like a short buzz cut next week, you need to come in next week.
gotcha. Gotcha.
So as always, do what's going to work for you. Some people come in once a year. I have one client who hasn't been in here in 3 years, but she still looks exactly like the picture she took 3 years ago. As a matter of fact, she's a Birmingham city councilor. I haven't seen her in 3 years, but she's fine because she still looks like that.
Right.
I have another client comes in once a week, other clients once a year. So you need to gauge it based on what you're using your images for and how much you use that image.
Right.
I have acting clients who come in maybe once a year. If they have a different look they want to do, they come in more often. Like I did for your husband, he had different looks he did in that one shoot
Yes.
because I knew he was going for different roles. Now, when he
Right.
came in, we did like 3 or 4 looks. If we had done only one, then he would have to come back sooner to get more looks.
Right.
So, and my consultations, I would do a 10-15 minute consultation for free just because
Right.
I like sharing information. If you need the information and we figure out that my style doesn't match you, then that's fine because I want to help. I really want to help. I want to help you get something that's going to work. I want to help you get something that's going to be effective. So I'll do 10-15 minutes for free if you come to me or not. So of course you get the free consultation before and after if you come to me. And then my first package is a mini headshot session. It's $199. It comes with one look and 3 edits. And then I have the basic headshot session, which is $299. It comes with 2 looks and 5 edits. Then I have an executive session that's $399. It comes with 3 looks and 9 edits. So I have a little something for everyone. Not everyone doesn't need 3 outfits.
Right.
You just don't. You need to do what's good for you. For most people, one headshot, basic background, looking like you look is going to be effective. Depending on what you do, you may need 2, you may need 3. Whatever you need, you come here. I can help you determine what you need. I can help you determine your look, your poses, your background, your clothing, anything you need. I can help you figure it out if I take the pictures or not. I can also come to your location. There's an additional location fee anywhere from 75 to $125, depending on your location. I bring all my own equipment, all my own lights. What I have here, I can also take with me. And that's about it. Again, find what's going to work for you. Listen to the basics, but put yourself into those basics and come up with something special. You already have what's special. You already have what's unique in already
Mhm.
in you.
Well, Antonio, thank you so much for all of that wonderful information. You truly are a wonderful photographer. And Melissa and I want to be sure that our viewers have all the information that they need to be able to connect with you. So, can you tell us where you are located, your social media platforms, and the best way for our viewers to be able to connect with you?
So my studio is located at 105 Vulcan Road, Homewood, Alabama, 35209,
Mhm.
Suite 416. My phone number is 205-222-2133. My website is aboswellmedia.com. My email address is ab@aboswellmedia.com. You can also find me on Facebook, Instagram, and some other things that honestly I really don't check a lot. So you can check out my website. You can email me. You can text me. You can call me. I like to make connections. I like to establish relationships if I'm your photographer or not. I also do consultations to help you find out what's going to be most effective for you for images, video, your brand, a little bit of marketing, over 25 years of experience. The last time I did an audit, my impact with my media is up to like 23 million. And that's not
Wow.
money I've made. That's money I've helped other people and companies make.
Right.
I have to make that clear. I have not made $25 million.
Are you sure we want to be notaries, Melissa?
You can spread a little of that around, Antonio.
No,
Well,
it's not mine.
I,
It's
I
not
just
mine.
I just want to say that that's incredible that you have had an impact on 23 million viewers. That's just
$23 million
dollars. Okay.
is the number. I started doing an audit just over my career of media
Uh-huh.
because I wanted to know that number, and I wanted to be able to present it to people to show really how effective I am. So a lot of people have a concern about being, I think, popular and seen and noticed. But if you're in business, it eventually has to come back to the money. So
Hmm.
I wanted to be able to have a accurate number on what my impact has been on all the companies and businesses that I work for. And I think that number is actually based on like 3 years ago and before. So I have an actor who's hit it kind of big, so I'm gonna have to change that number real soon.
That's awesome.
That
And
is wonderful.
I'm gonna tell you something. You have truly made an impact in my life and in the life of my family, and now in the life of our business. And we want to thank you again so much. It's been my honor and my privilege to introduce you to our viewers. And thanks again.
Thank
Appreciate
you
it.
for having me. And I don't know if we mentioned it or not, but make sure that your viewers know that I'm going to give them 10% of anything that they book from me.
Yes.
If they mention you and say they're part of your network, you want to get 10% off of any service that I offer.
That is awesome, Antonio. Thank you so much. And before we wrap up, can you mention and tell us a little bit about Pics with Cool Santa?
Oh, so Cool Santa is a character that I came up with a few years ago. It's a variation of Santa Claus. So his name is Cool Santa. He's kind of like Santa, but with a slightly different vibe. Let me see if I can bring up some merchandise. That is Cool Santa. So
And y'all,
Cool
he's very
Santa,
cool.
Cool Santa has the Santa colors, but he wears aviator shades. He wears a designer blazer. He wears an ascot. So it's a character I developed actually during COVID. Cool Santa has a merchandise. Cool Santa actually has a book called "It's Cool to Be Kind" for the kids. Cool Santa makes appearances. Cool Santa likes to spread joy during the Christmas season in his own style. So we're doing pics for Cool Santa. You can find that information on my website, aboswellmedia.com. Up at the top, it has Cool Santa. You can click on that, and that is Cool Santa.
That is awesome. I can't wait to check that out myself. We will definitely reference that at the bottom for our viewers to have all of that information. And again, Antonio, thank you so much for being with us today. It's part of our focus over the next few weeks. We really want to talk to you about our viewers about bettering yourself. You know, in order for you to better your business, you have got to better yourself. So we want to focus on ways to help you do that. And so this is part one of that series. And we also want to point you to our marketing course, How to Market Your Notary Business. We think with Antonio's headshots and our marketing course that you will be well on your way to growing your notary business. We thank you so much for being with us today. Thank you, Antonio, for joining us. And we will talk to you again soon.
Goodbye.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way.